What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Chuck coming to you off the cuff. I ain't gonna lie, your boy looking a bit rough today, but we got some things to talk about. DC Studios has now officially conducted 1 full year of business, and we want to talk on how I feel they've done. Has the company look good underneath the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran? I don't know. After we talk about it today, hopefully you'll give me your opinion on it. Let me know if you think it sounds like it's doing good. So, October 25th of 2022 was the day that one David Zaslav, CEO of newly merged Warner Brothers Discovery, named James Gunn and Peter Safran the guys, the co-heads of the studio, DC Studios. When I first got this news, personally, I was a tad bit confused. I don't want to rag on Peter Safran because all I know of him is he produced on the first and second Shazam. So I don't want to, go too much into depth on him. And he seems like an acute businessman that knows just how to conduct business, as you should on business hours. James Gunn, I can't say that for. He's on Twitter every 5 seconds, bumping his gums, releasing something, trying to confirm something when I thought, they would have had a PR team, But, yeah, James Gunn, I don't know why he got this promotion. I don't know why this was warranted. He made a few good comic book movies, a few. And I don't even want to say a few. Like, he really just got, if I'm being generous, he got 2. Because out of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, okay, 1 and 3 are decent. But 2, oh my God, it's just bro, complete miss for me. Never been rewatched. It's weird. I don't get it. I'm not a fan of Mantis. She's a character you really don't need. But anyway, he made a good couple of movies. Cool little movies. With Guardians of the Galaxy 1 being the best. He made some cool little movies. But does that warrant him being in control of a full studio? Developing all of the plans for this studio? Making all of the creative decisions and final say-sos when it comes to the studio? I don't think so. Because that means he has to oversee characters like Superman. And when you look at his portfolio, excluding Slither, because we all know that was just straight dookie sticks, dog water. And it was your directorial debut, so we can't do too much bad talking about it. But we gonna take that off. Looking at your superhero portfolio, we got Guardians of the Galaxy, 1 through 3. We got Suicide Squad and Peacemaker.
They're crap. Crap. Mega crap. I'll give you $200 for all of them.
And the latter with DC were complete bombs. Didn't do nothing to profit for the studio. Nothing at all whatsoever. And I blame you for that because everybody tried to protect the Suicide Squad like it was a good movie. Oh, COVID and, day and date. Spider-Man, hey, No Way Home. Spider-Man made $1 billion. I don't want to hear it. A good movie's going to make good money. And unfortunately, Suicide Squad just wasn't a good movie. That's why. I don't want to hear all those other excuses. Don't want to hear it. Yeah. You made those movies and now all of a sudden you're the leader of the studio. And I don't want to rag on you too much because it's who am I to rag on him? Like I'm some, movie prophet. Like I got all the answers. It's just from the outside looking in, it's wow, that was a confusing decision. You sure that's what y'all wanted to do? Yeah. You don't want to look at nobody else first. I think somebody else would have. Okay. But what does, one half of the co-heads decide to do when he steps into his new role? As I mentioned, this was October 25th of last year. And if you remember during that time, we had the most electrifying movie of... No, it wasn't the most electrifying. We had the great ones, Black Adam, in theaters. And that showcased the return of what, to me, is the best interpretation of Superman to date, Henry Cavill. After years of the studio playing, not giving us Man of Steel 2, he triumphantly returned at the end of Black Adam to set up that fight and just go to war. Get to it. Go to work. He went on a press junket, letting the world know, I'm back. Man of Steel 2, it's in the works. We serious about it. It's going to be Superman how he's meant to be. That lasted for a total of 5 seconds. Because James Gunn unceremoniously ousted my boy. He comes out and says, we're moving on from Henry Cavill as Superman. He doesn't fit the Superman story that I have in mind.
Look how they massacred my boy.
It's utter confusion. What? This is, you talk about one half of the best part of the previous universe. And we all know Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. Cavill and Batfleck was holding the universe on their shoulders. Henry Cavill, even if the movie was bad, they still loved him. They still just happy to see him. You're saying he's not fitting the story that you're developing. Okay. Bad decision. We already know that was going to anger a lot of people. So going on from there, at the beginning of this year, James Gunn announces a reboot. Now, this isn't a full reboot. He isn't getting rid of everyone and starting over from scratch. We thought this would have been the case because, as I just mentioned, he fired Henry Cavill. And then tried to say he didn't fire him. Tried to backtrack and say, oh, we didn't fire him. He just wasn't cast. And Man of Steel 2 got canceled. So, if David Zaslav walked in your office tomorrow, James, and told you, hey, clear out your desk. We don't need you to do anything. Your services are no longer needed. Your vision is, not in line with what I have with the company. But you're not fired. What word would you say that? What word would replace that, James? You fired, dickhead. You're done. Pink slipped. Walking papers administered. You've been served. I don't get that. What do you mean you didn't fire him? But anyway, you announced a reboot. We had already known about Henry Cavill. Adding to the list, many others. Ben Affleck. We got Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ray Fisher. Everyone in the Justice League. Except Jason Momoa, which I'll touch on later in the video. They're gone. They're out of here. I don't understand it because, with that being said, with this reboot, it's not a full reboot. He goes on to say, you'll still see previous characters from the previous universe, but their stories won't affect this timeline, and, they're not a part of this timeline. But they are. I don't get what you're saying. I'm confused. It doesn't make sense. You telling me he can survive universe-changing events, Peacemaker? The guy with a gun for powers? Or a specialized helmet that carries 3 charges? Amanda Waller surviving? I don't get how are they going to fit into your new universe? How? But Henry Cavill doesn't. Their talent was just such exceptional in those roles, they had to be retained. Oscar-winning performances, huh? Now, I don't want to go too hard on Amanda Waller and, Viola Davis because she did good. I ain't gonna lie. She's giving that energy. She's like, hey, you liked her. I like to see her. I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Yeah. But over Henry Cavill, negative. Get her out of here. You're done. You're cooked, lady. How you want this dish served up? Flambéed, baked, sorbet, boiled, grilled. How you want it? You're done. Cooked. Out of here. Served. I don't get it. So, after announcing that reboot, that's where things really start to hit the fan. Because the time he announced this, it seems he wasn't looking at the schedule that DC had for this year. They still had 4 movies yet to come, with 3 of them being basically based in the DCU. January, Shazam, bomb. No one seen it, didn't make money. You got Zachary Levi online crying about why it didn't make money. You know why it didn't make money, Zach? Because the movie was bad. That's why. How dare you try to smudge my boy John Wick's shirt? Ain't nobody picking Shazam over. What? John Wick? The Baba Yaga? Funny jokes. Next on the list, we got The Flash, the biggest bomb in Warner Brothers and DC history. Lost hundreds and millions of dollars. I don't even want to go into how bad the movie was. I went into the movie with a buzz, feeling good, like, all right, let's get this over with. It's here. 5 minutes into the movie, I looked at my friend, and he seen the agony in my eyes and started laughing. He just seen it. It was oozing out of my pores. The movie was so poorly put together, reshot to hell. If I get to talking about that, it's going to be a whole 20-minute video. Moving on from the flop, we got Blue Beetle, the titular character that nobody cares about, no one asks for. Another flop. Hundreds of millions of dollars down the drain. Done. No money. But you know what's kind of particularly crazy about this one? The lead actor, Zolo Manaduria, has already been confirmed to be moving on in the new DC. So what did he do? Whose back did he scratch? What favor did he perform? Because he didn't make any money for you guys, so I don't get how he's still going to be around. How is that going to work? But anyway, moving on to the last entry on the list, expected to flop. Hasn't officially flopped yet, but I'm fully expecting this to flop with all the behind-the-scenes drama that's going into this film. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Might as well rework that into Aquaman the L. They're going to lose on this one, and they're going to lose big. I don't see it stacking up to Aquaman. I don't see it getting those numbers at all. I'm just going to put that out there on the table, and I think it's going to happen. You got a co-head who will be stupid enough when you have a whole slate of movies to release to announce a reboot, to essentially tell your fans, the one that still were invested in the previous universe and maybe would have cared to see it, like, oh, maybe go see it. You never know if it's good. Some will turn out. If enough people go see it, you basically told them, hey, doesn't matter. We're starting over. You don't have to go see this. Go see it if you want to. If you want to do something for the kids. But if you don't, if you ain't got the time, don't go. That's what you were thinking. It seems like that's what you were thinking when you announced it. But then when shit gotten to hit the fan, and you seen Shazam flop the way it did, you get out there going and saying things like, The Flash is the greatest comic book movie, one of the greatest comic book movies I've ever seen. Y'all first year it's turning out real bad for James Gunn. This guy, he looks like to me a liar. Somebody who doesn't have a plan.
Like a guy with a plan. You know what I am? I'm a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. You know, I just do things.
And you know, someone who actually, in my opinion, no, I'm not even going to say that. In my opinion, I feel like he doesn't have the gusto to be a co-head. He doesn't move in the way a co-head does. As I mentioned, he's on Twitter every day telling you, and I know his PR team just in the back like, oh, shit. Reach out to Variety. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, I just wanted to go over their first full year in business. And basically, what a major disaster it's been. Down the hill. Done. Yeah, it's been horrible for them. And you know, they always say your first impression should be your best impression, because isn't that the last one? So your first year is basically letting me know how all the rest of these years is going to turn out. Oh, boy. Never thought I'd see it. The day where I can finally admit, even though Marvel, the shambles it's in right now, is forever going to be in front of DC in this movie space. If they keep making the dumb decisions they making now, somebody, I don't want to say James Gunn, maybe doesn't need to be fired, but they need to do some reevaluating, and if Superman Legacy don't perform the way it do, basta. But again, thanks for stopping by. If you like the content, you know, again, we're going to keep it coming. We got more videos coming about DC. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. Even Marvel. We got the launch of that content coming soon. Keep an eye out. Maybe check out the last video on the Aquaman behind the scenes drama. You might like it. You might not. You don't, hit that down button. We out.